What's up? What's up? Right now, I'm only talking to the live stream. I can do. Just trying to figure out this setup. It's all good now. But yeah, I'm just doing the live session, so I figured I'd stream. I'm actually going to email people now and invite them. Do a little stream for a little bit because we might have something setting up, but it might take a little time. What's up? What's up? There's only one person here. I'll be talking soon. I just got to get this email out. All right. Okay. I just invited 400 and something people, so should get a little something going. All right. Let's see what's happening with the charts. So we had the news move. Let me switch my screen to see it big. Had the news move, and it was on a lot of these pairs. They were already trending downward, and they hit initially a down move on news. Pound yen went into a support demand zone, and did show a sign of strength. So we had like a trap move, and we could be reversing off of this sign of strength here. Here's the test, no supply, and off we go. I was looking for more confirmation of strength before getting in long. I'd like to see a little more volume on a 1 hour, maybe a double bottom, and I'd look to get in. Otherwise, if it just starts trending, I'll look for signs of strength. But it was a strong move, and it's not exactly climactic volume, so it's a little aggressive in that way. Same here. So another little rundown and high volume strength, I'd be more confident with buying. So that applies to a bunch of them. I would say pound yen, AJ, AU. Again, it's strength, but it's not really overwhelming. But again, you see on the 5-minute, it was a news sort of trap move. We'll see how that goes. This looks like some weakness actually is still hanging around, so hopefully we get one more little rundown and a sign of strength. UJ also, support area, strength. And so I'm hoping there's still a little selling hanging around to bring it down and show me a little more strength and some accumulation before going against that strong move. So that's where I am. Euro dollar, I was looking to buy, but the news move brought it up. I was looking for lower prices here to buy, but it could still come down. Pound dollar, I'm looking to short because we're trending downward. We really haven't seen much signs of strength at all. So we can get a little higher, then I'll consider the short off of weakness. But there's really not much demand coming in, so see what we can get with that momentum or trend, or at least clearly off of some weakness here, trending downward. Maybe a retracement and then down to this fib area. So looking to short there if we get there, or wherever weakness may appear, but hopefully it's in here. There's not really much else to go off of S2. This computer's being silly now. Come on. I shouldn't have done what I did before. Long story. Pound yen gets a little higher, I'll consider a short. These guys, a little more evidence of accumulation, and I would look to buy. That's where we are. The volume on the YouTube is a little off. As in my microphone? Like it's too low? Oh, there's 9 people. I didn't even realize. If you're in the live stream, type hello. What's up? I only see Mr. DeMarco. He says the sound is good. All right. Well, right now we're up to 11 in the live stream. So some of you, if you could let me know, just type in the chat if your sound is okay, if the stream is okay. I haven't really done this much, but I'm starting to do it now, so hopefully, technically, everything's good. Yo, yo. So that means good sound. Oh, it's very good quality? Cool. It's actually better than the webinar, right? Yeah. It's like it's direct. It's not even lowering the quality very much. See, I can mute the webinar, but I can't. Well, I can mute this probably too separately, but I can talk to the 2 different groups separately. I have the regular live session going too. There's UJ, another test for sellers, and they're not showing up, right? Another no supply confirmation there. This is a confirmed long entry here, but it is aggressive because it's counter trend, and it's really just off the news thing. But it's there. It's saying that the buying has taken over and the selling is pretty inactive. I can raise my mic a little bit. I think depending on what you're using, the mic might be low on the YouTube. So it's a little louder now. I'll talk loud. Where's the multi-broker volume? I don't know. Ask Jeremy. Haven't heard from him in a while. I'm wondering the same thing. Okay, we're up to 14 in the live stream. Welcome. I'm going to be doing this more often, just for the hell of it. So again, the news move showed buying on the yen pairs. A little trap down move, sign of strength. The testing so far for sellers, they really haven't shown up very much. Again, for me, I'm looking for a little higher volume or more evidence of accumulation before I go against such a strong move. But it would be not crazy. There's a no supply there in pound yen, and that's off of the support area. I mean, I could have already jumped in off of that no supply and be up 20, 25 pips, but strong moves usually go out with a bang, and the 1 hour volume isn't very high. So it's not wrong, it's not horrible, but I'm trying to be safe right now. But it's just gonna go, isn't it? Do I have open trades now? Nope. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? No, nothing now. It would have been easier to see a sign of weakness on the news an hour ago. The news on like the yen pairs, but we had to hit some strength during a downtrend, so I'm not jumping on it. There's the aggressive long. I didn't do that. And we're up to 16. Maybe a sign of weakness here into an up move on pound dollar. Since that on news did not show strength, that's really the yen pairs. But here, really not much strength coming in. And a pretty strong move, obviously. And there's really no accumulation going on down there. So if we get weakness here, not so much. So hopefully we get there and see it. And that's just a very basic trend trade if that sets up off of there. Euro dollar. Again, it's a bit mixed up, but it's different. We moved up. We're able to stay up here. We didn't trend down like the others. And then we saw a fake break today of that support of the last couple days and buying. So I was considering the e-signal put a hit out on him. I was considering the long here, but it just moved up on news. Again, news could have helped by giving me a sign of strength here, and I would have looked to buy. And it's not counter trend, and it would have been easy, but it had to do that on news. Maybe we're going to come down, but news didn't give me that. So that's where we are. Leave up. Yeah, that would have been a nice aggressive entry if anybody took it. I did point it out at the time. The no supply, no supply. So if anybody took that, congratulations. If you didn't take it because you wanted to be more conservative, going counter trend, then that's fine. Don't think you should have, because another time it wouldn't have worked out. I learned the hard way. Going counter trend off a 5-minute signal, not good enough probability. Strong trends, the last couple of days have been moving down the end pairs. So strong moves like that, typically it's dangerous just to buy off a 5-minute sign of strength. And again, I did learn that the hard way when I started doing this, because you will get a bounce and it's tempting, but very often you'll test for sellers on a little 14 EMA test or something, and you'll go for another leg down before it's really over, and that could hit your stop loss. So in this case, it worked out. Like I said at the time, it's valid. It's not crazy. It did show demand coming in and selling pretty inactive. So that's the opportunity so far today. I'll see if I get, again, if I'm going counter trend, either climactic on a 1 hour or signs of accumulation over time. Some more buying, some more signs of strength. Just to convince me we're really turning around. Mr. Joshua, live trading great things to speak. Oh, Roman candles, cool. Yeah, I recognize a lot of Daristani is what's up. It's been a while. I recognize some of these names from a while ago. Hopefully everything's going good for you guys. Last few weeks have been good. I don't think I really took a loss in the last two or 3 weeks. Not that I had a trade every day, but it was either win or no trade, which is fine. Your voice is like a radio producer. I have good equipment and stuff. It's just the webinar kills it, the quality. But I have a whole EQ compressor thing going on. It's actually a voice processor that my mic's going through. You finally get to hear it. All right, well, that's where we are. I keep repeating it and repeating it, so maybe I'll take a break from that. See how it develops. I mean, if this just runs off and goes up, then so be it. I mean, at least I can look for a retracement and more sign. I just need more than a little 5-minute sign of strength, or a big 5-minute sign of strength, to go against the trend. So if it moves up without me, so be it. That's fine. Will you use this YouTube live link? Or how will you? I'm not sure what you're asking. Basically, I just started streaming, and then I sent a mass email out to everybody. So if you want to be notified by email when I stream, go to myfxsource.com and then do the email box on the right. Just put your email in there, just for the general mailing list, and then every time I stream, you'll get a notice, which is maybe a couple times a week. Who knows? See how it goes. This sound just not very loud. All right, I'll talk loud. You use every trade. You know what? I'll put it louder. Hopefully the people in the webinar are not going to get blasted out. If you're listening in the webinar, the go-to webinar, let me know if it's all like distorted and too loud. I'm trying to balance these two. You use every trade pivot point. I use them as sort of confluence, and there's certain uses for the pivots, but I don't like look to the pivots as my main thing to look to trade off of. It's more support resistance and fib areas, but pivots are useful when you're in those areas and it could pinpoint something more specific. And also, if you're going into new ground, new high ground, or new low ground, there's really no support or resistance, the pivots are good. If you're breaking out to the upside and you're hitting R3, there's really nothing else up there. It's likely to pull back off of that. It's a good marker to see activity and get some information. But as far as all of them, yeah, all of them. Daily pivot might particularly be good, but yeah, I just look at them all in that way. It's not my main thing, but they're there just as confluence and like those examples I gave. Will I do this every day? I don't plan on doing it every day. We'll see how it goes, because I do the regular, subscription, paid live sessions, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm thinking just on occasion I'll be doing this on YouTube just for fun, part of the session, whatever. Tariq, hi, thanks for sharing. Nice to see you again. Cool to see a lot of people here. I haven't seen in a while. Last week I saw you posted a new video on your channel and removed it. Oh, that was me testing out this. So it wasn't really that great of a video. That's all it was, I think. Just that one, yeah. It was like my voice echoing, and then I was talking some crap, and then that was it. I removed it. It was kind of useless. What do you think, daily close or pivot point important? Like, which is more important? I'm not really that interested in the daily close. That's me personally. That's just where price was at the end of the day. It has to be taken in context. But it's not like an overwhelming factor that I hone in on as far as the price of the daily close. That's just me. And again, pivots are not my main thing that I work off of. Pretty much more support resistance, the fib 50 to 618 areas as a zone, as I made it, and the 50 EMAs, 50 and 14 EMAs that you see in my chart. But the pivots are helpful for confluence, new high ground, new low ground, like I said. But if you want to learn about my trading, the YouTube videos, right? It's free. There's a lot of stuff there, so you'll see that stuff. And that is, I'm not mainly working off of pivots, but they have their place. Okay, now we're coming down. So if we can do that, and see, I don't know if you guys hear that noise outside. It's construction. It sounds like Somebody's dragging a chain forever. Jeez, it's really a horrible sound. They're building a building across the street. But if we can move down and see more signs of strength, then I'll be looking to get in this. Again, it was the early aggressive entries so far that's just shown up that I didn't take. But it is counter trend. I'd like to see a little more signs of strength down here. But as far as like weakness and any sort of opportunity to get in with a trend, I wouldn't do that. And because of all the demand, I would not be looking to buy, not be looking to sell anymore on these down moves on the yen pairs. But I'm figuring this retracement, this up move might attract some more selling with the trend, and hopefully we get one more move and high volume sign of strength into lower prices. That would be much higher probability going long if we get that double bottom or whatever fake break. But after that kind of wild stuff Thursday, it wasn't exactly the cleanest stuff. But to look at the yen pairs and see that there's clearly a downtrend, downward momentum, go with that with weakness, or else wait for, you know, a proper end to look to buy, which might be coming around, but that takes a little longer going against the trend. Where do I live? New York. I moved all around. I was in the city for a long time. Now I'm just outside the city. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Let things develop here. See if we get another sign of strength. EU, what's that? Daily, 20 and daily. And you have a specific question? EU daily? I can give you sort of a whole analysis if you want. I'll be back in a minute. All right. Questions? There's probably like a 30-second delay with everything. Do you have better volume indicator? Like as in the better volume indicator? I don't use that. I don't think the signals are reliable. I think it was a nice little attempt at something, but I think it's useless. It's my opinion. But what I'm trying to get done was the multi-broker volume indicator. I don't know if you're referring to that, which is like 10, 20 brokers set up for 10, but I think it's may have been changed to 20 at this point actually. But I don't know. This guy's trying to get it done, and I don't know what's up with it. Right, the one that was created. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, somebody who joined the live sessions, or it's like e-signal. Right, exactly. And he went and had it made, but I don't know where he's been. And it was like very close to done. And the reason why I wasn't using it, I'm not using it now, is because he had it running off his home server, which cuts out at some times. So I'll get low volume when it's not supposed to be low. So he's like, okay, that'll be fixed when it's on the virtual server. And that's the last I heard from him. That was a few weeks ago, I think. I'll contact him. I figured he'll let me know when it's ready. What am I going to do? But he's been talking to the programmer, and he got it to this point, like pretty much done. So hopefully soon. Let me go through what everybody's saying here. Okay, yeah, and we'll get to the Yen and Dollar. Yeah, interested in signing up for your classes, which you only offer for Tuesday 6 p.m. I might be changing that. Not too sure about the schedule in the future. That might conflict, so I might change that. I'll change it on the website and let everybody know. If I do that, I'll email everybody. I work during that time. Can I Wednesday, Thursday? You'd be moving the classes. Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure. I have to see about that, make a decision. So that most likely is going to be changing soon. I'll let everybody know what goes on there as soon as I decide. To trade live like this every day, private room, right? Yep. It's a couple hours. I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with an actual, with subscribers and go to webinar. But I just figured I'd stream on YouTube sometimes now and then. But here's the website. Just but I'll be doing this now and then, and if you want to learn about my trading, watch the YouTube videos. I really suggest that to everybody. If you allow me to I'll contact him and see where it is. Yeah. Well, yeah, I want to get it done, and anything I could do to get it done, I'll do. But it's out of my hands. I'll contact him. How much profit do you earn per month from trading only? Enough, and then some. More than enough. But I'm not like trading every month to pay my bills at the end of the month from, I'm not living month to month. You don't want to be doing that because the market's not a vending machine. There'll be slow times and all that. How do you distinguish stopping volume from volume created by stops being hit? That's a good question. One of the best ways to do that is because we're kind of seeing that sort of reasoning now with some of the stuff. Let me get the charts back up here. Oh, you guys were seeing my desktop? I don't know what you're seeing. Hopefully you're seeing the charts. Okay. Typically, they're kind of working together, but to distinguish between the two, stopping volume means strength is coming in, like buying is coming in, demand's coming in. Stops getting hit is like people that are long and they got their sell stops or whatever, right? So you'll have a cluster of stops in an area sometimes, and particularly like above a resistance or support, and you'll get some increase in volume when they're hit, right? The thing is, that's why I like, and this is one of the reasons I look for that. Like for example, here, if this comes down again and again, we see increase in volume. It's typically not as high as the first, but maybe something like that. Then that's going to tell me that there is sustained, continuous activity, demand coming in. The first time around could involve stops. The second time is not, right, in the same price area. So it doesn't have to go any lower. It could just double bottom like that. So that's one of the things. To see an additional sign of strength will tell me that it's actually demand coming in, the stopping volume, sign of strength kind of thing. So more than one. And it could be even like a 50%. It's just a sign of strength into lower prices. It doesn't even have to go all the way down. That's one way of knowing it's really demand coming in this price area. And it's not just a temporary thing and then it continues. But typically it's I'm not so worried about stops. I'm just looking at high volume, where it shows up, and what does it mean? Where is smart money positioned from? Are they still in those positions? If they're long and prices moving up with strength in the background, how much supply is coming in at higher prices, which communicates to me profit taking and selling coming in, and it works together. So really just knowing how they operate and looking at those high volume points and following where they're getting in and out. Need more coffee so I can think straight. The pivots are indicator. If you go to forexfactory.com and just search pivot indicator, you'll find a lot. Make sure it's right, though. But no, definitely don't have to do it manually. How much per month? What is it now? $149. Well, go to the website and you can see everything there. The live sessions are $149. And you can also like subscribe to videos that I send out here and there during the week. Check it out and see. Sorry, I'm lagging behind your questions, and it's probably all late anyway, too. Yeah, auto pivot indicator, yeah. The YouTube videos are free, of course. But if you want to do live sessions Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that is subscription per month. The YouTube streaming I'll just do for free now and then. Analysis EU, okay. Do you focus on pips or percentage? I take whatever the market gives, but percentage. Pips could mean anything, right? You could retire off 100 pips, or you could make $1 off 100 pips, right? Pips don't mean anything. Of course, it's percentage, yeah. In pound yen, there's nice pin bar with the highest volume of the day, 50-minute chart. You're talking about the sign of strength into the support zone. Yeah. On pound yen. Coffee, yes, lifesaver. Gotta go to work. All right. Catch that webinar later. Okay, cool. Yeah, strength coming in on pound yen, $1 CAD. I'll check that too. Okay, so EU, been asking. Let me see. So this is the way I'm seeing EU here. Because, you know, I first opened the chart. I'm like, all right, great. We got this crap in the background from Thursday. What does it all mean? But if I mark this up and just do my basic analysis, right, and see where it leads, okay, I'll do the faster version since I did it and I know what I'm doing. If you draw this high to low, I want to see if we were testing a fib area, and if so, like how it was behaving. And to see it really reject cleanly like that at the 618, somebody asked about daily close. That matters to me, that we didn't close above the 618 on the daily. That tends to be more bullish, right? It's basically a resistance. This is more of a retracement point where it can go to. If once I'm seeing closes above 618, generally as a general rule, it's more likely to continue up and be a real reversal. So that does matter that the daily's closed there, since somebody asked about the daily close. And coming down off of that is basically a bearish sort of pattern. Now, volume is going to lead the way, and I'm not really too much concerned with the volume on the daily chart. Obviously, it's really high, but we got to get in there and make sure. Right, this looks very simply like a sign of weakness on the daily chart, but if you really notice, because it's an up candle and then, lower close, and it's high volume, so you would say, okay, that's weakness. But if you get in here, first of all, that all the way down to support, this covers a huge area. And there could have been a lot of buying here, so we can't just simplify and say it's just weakness. If we go to the 1 hour chart now and look at that, again, this is important because we're looking at recent high volume points to follow the storyline, determine the background. So we got to focus on that, obviously. So it comes in as initially strength, right? We move down and we get a bounce off high volume. So you're going to say strength. Then this one, very, very, very high volume, right? Unusually high. Wide candle closing off the high. So it's a lot of buying and a lot of selling. This is just facts. It's nice to say it's one or the other, but we can't. But it did close at least higher than the previous, so we got to say, okay, there's more buying than selling, but there's still a lot of selling. The volume's really high, and it closed off the high. There's got to be a lot of selling in there to be able to do that. So it's mixed. Then we look at the next one. It closed higher, which, again, if we're seeing at least higher close, higher close, higher close, there's more buying than selling. This is an unusual situation, but this is the explanation. So at least we're seeing higher closes, right? Pretty much all throughout. So we're not seeing really signs of weakness. The excessive volume says selling is also active, but the fact that we make progress and move up as a result, right? Effort versus result, tells us there's more buying than selling. It's that simple. So we have to say it's bullish. It's not the best situation you're going to jump in or work off of and say, okay, it's bullish, because again, the selling was also active. But if we have to conclude what happened this day, there was a lot of buying and selling, both very active, but more buying. Okay, so we'll say that it's more bullish. So going forward this day, pretty, like, not really saying much. So let's just skip that. Volume is kind of low. Nothing really stands out. But it created a support. Monday, again, slow, low volume. But then you have at least, it was like, this is sort of the aftermath, and we're sort of leaning towards bullish. So it bounced off support. Okay, it's showing more signs of bullishness. And then today we went slightly lower, and that's where the demand showed up. This is earlier. So that was the support for a couple of days, and we move down, and we get that sign of strength, right? And then again, this is an example of the, at least an increase in volume on another test of the low area is likely to, there's your sign of strength. Confirm that it's going to bounce. But fake breakout and that buying. Okay, so going forward, it seems, again, more buying than selling. Then we have the news move, which is all high volume here, which as a result is now coming down. It was certainly selling into the move. So it's not that clear. It's leaning bullish, but this isn't a good reaction. This is all high volume, right? This was news, but this is not. This is after news. And it's high volume. And that's what's happening as a result, and, you know, it's supply coming in. So it's a little mixed up. I was hoping before news, right, that we were going to see more accumulation here. I'm looking to buy off of maybe a news move, because I was getting on right as news was about to come out. So news could have brought it down and showed me more strength, and I'd look to buy going forward, but it kind of just did all this stuff, so no trade. So that is the third. It's, you know, a little unusual working off of the background and everything, but that's where the analysis leads. See if these guys come down and show a little more demand. Let me see comments. Okay, so that's euro-dollar. Laura, the comments on pound yen. What do you think? So the pound yen has been trending downward the last couple of days. There hasn't been a lot of demand coming in, but today on the news, a couple hours ago, hour and a half ago, it came in as a sign of strength, a trap down move sign of strength. So now it's likely to bounce during this downtrend. If I see more evidence of accumulation, because it's counter trend, so I don't want to be overly aggressive, then I would consider buying. So near future is the demand came in, so it should more likely move up than down if I see fresh sign of strength, but that's besides news and something a little more convincing. Because counter trend, I don't want to be too aggressive. That's a strong move, and the volume's not climactic. So if we get a double bottom, another test here, and again strength, we're likely moving up. But this downtrend has hit buyers now off of that news. It doesn't mean sellers may be more active and have it go another leg down, but that's the story now. And there's not really that much selling coming in. So if I could see more buying, that would make the situation pretty safe to look for the entry. Some decent volume on that. If I was going with the trend, if it was an uptrend and it just had pulled back, then I would have been already long. But since it's a downtrend, again, I don't want to be overly aggressive. And we might get that test down there. Making sense, guys? Hopefully that helps. Cool. Every day's different, right? You never know what you're going to get. Don't go in assuming anything and do the analysis and see where it leads. Sometimes it's just textbook and you take a trade and that's it. Sometimes it's a mess and you're trying to figure it all out and you realize it's not worth taking a risk because it's not that you don't have an understanding of what's going on in the market. It's that you do, and you're seeing that there's not a high probability situation, that there's not a consensus among smart money, for example. So you get what you get. Sentinel, good day. See you next time. Dollar Cad, I see you mentioned. I haven't looked at this in a while. Let me see where we are. So you're long the Dollar Cad. Looks like a fib. Well, you got your sign of strength in the fib area. That was news, right? Okay. That actually came in as weakness, so it's not great to see. But you're buying, okay, it's trending upward the last couple days. And buying off a fib retracement. The weakness off the high, yeah, it's still there to some extent. There is some. Just to kind of get a balance of supply and demand. A bit of selling. And then news brought some selling. Now, there's definitely some buying coming in here, but it's not exactly trading into areas of where selling wasn't active. There was some active selling. So it could be a little cleaner. But bottom line is it's not incorrect because you go with the trend on signs of strength and the test, which could be doing another no supply test here. Here's automatic rally. We may test there on low volume and confirm an entry off of that low volume test here. But yeah, it's not wrong. It's with the trend on a sign of strength at a fib, so there's nothing wrong with that. But just to judge the health of the uptrend, it has hit some supply, so it could be a bit cleaner. That is my analysis. Yeah, the volume. Well, exactly, and it would be nice to see higher volume. But the thing is, what are you going to do? You can't go short. Well, if it breaks through here and there's absolutely no demand coming in, okay, it's going. But, what are you going to do when you see that? Hopefully the long setup comes around and you see maybe another dip and again buying coming in and maybe on the 1 hour high volume. But if buyers don't come in here, if volume stays low and flat throughout here and into new low ground, it's bearish. So that's the whole point of waiting. That is the whole point. So we'll find out. Let's see. We're just getting into the area now. Buyers should come in. If we get increase in volume and a bounce, then we prove that they are accumulating. If we float through here with no trouble, no real increase in volume, no large pins on the bottom, jumping up, bouncing, then it was a little news thing and the trend continues. There's not even a lot of weakness, but it's all about, is the demand going to stop this trend or not? If it doesn't, it could continue. You're asking again about the rate? Here, just to make sure, I'll give it to you again. The website address. So it's all there. If you click the button, it's not like going to charge you or anything, so you could see the invoice. But I'm pretty sure the price is listed there. There it is, right? There it is. So I predicted the increase in volume right there. It is nothing fancy. Again, if they bought once, particularly honing in on the pin area, which in this case is small, and it's also a support zone, so double. So just to get right there, they should start to pick up their activity if they're buying. So they did. So because of that, it just became more likely that this support is going to hold. So the more of that stuff you see, the more likely it is to hold support. So if we get a bounce as a result now of this, then it starts to come together. But again, at any point we see low prices and volume is low, and it's just floating through, then I would not be buying. So that's how important that is. It's something that I added to VSA, basically temporary versus sustained. In this case, buying in an area. Determined by the 5-minute pins and the 1-hour pin. Which sounds kind of kooky, but it works very, very well. There's logic to it. EJ broke support without volume? But there it is now. You must have typed that before that happened. That is just slightly higher than everything since news. So it did what it had to do. We get it back above here, and we have fake break. Sign of strength. Yeah, the yens are pretty much correlating with this. It's a yen-driven situation. AJ, UJ, anything J, pretty much probably. Yeah, see, I don't trust this dollar CAD long. I forget who it was said that. Again, there was large selling in here. Particularly here. And also a bit of selling off the high. So I don't trust it. I think the uptrend is going to have to retrace a bit more before a good long. I would guess going forward, dollar CAD. I would look for signs of strength a bit lower. Here's a resistance. What am I going to use? This one. And then the fib area. Typically, if there's some selling coming in, you'll get more of a retracement. Makes sense. If there's really very little selling, no signs of weakness, you may not even retreat. You may go sideways and then just continue. You may go in a straight line. But we see some selling coming in. If it doesn't play out here and it's hitting supply again and comes down, I'd look for these couple of areas to look for signs of strength. To look to buy here, here. Okay, well, it might make it. Buyers are still in there. I would consider that a bit better, though, to buy lower. I don't have a duck. That was a text. My 3-year-old changed when I get a text. She insisted on me using the duck quacking sound. I don't know if you heard it. Yeah. I have ducks running around. Just hay all over the floor, duck poop. Okay, so the fact that there seems to be so far, if this continues looking like this, bouncing now, that at least is the double bottom and the demand coming in twice, which again is not, as pointed out by somebody, and as I've been saying, there's not climactic volume here to go against the trend. Here we go. See. But you definitely can't sell with this much demand coming in, unless it changes, like I said. But at this point, you can't. So, if at least seeing buying over time, two bottoms, maybe a third bottom, maybe a quick dip down. If you don't have climactic volume in 1 hour chart, the more buying, the better over time, at least. Makes sense. It's not all in one shot, but over time, the long positions are being built up. So it gets better the more times it does this stuff. So that definitely helped. But, if you want to stay really traditional, conservative, textbook, you would not be going long here because there's just not climactic volume on a 1 hour chart, and it was strongly trending down the last couple of days. But you do what you're comfortable with. You trade long enough, you know what you're comfortable with or not. Obviously, I skipped the first entry, thinking hopefully it will come down and test and give me more information, which it did. So I'm not being overly aggressive. Climactic duck quacking may be an indication of position. No, what? Reverse upthrust, climactic action. That's what she said. All right, so it's looking better. Again, it's definitely improved in quality because of the second test and the buyers coming in. Now 14 EMA, again, is where I like to, this is a test for sellers. So think of it as the buying pauses their activity. And they will see how much selling is active. So if it sits here or moves down a little bit on low volume, you're getting small selling. And you get the no supply signal to enter. Again, hopefully I was clear. It's considered aggressive because the 1 hour is not climactic strength going against the trend. But when you see more demand than supply like this, it's likely to move up. It's considered aggressive, blah, blah, blah. Okay, just to be clear. But to sit here and pause and test for sellers and not see them show up is a good sign now. There. Stop loss situation is big because it's the pound yen. So typically I take a smaller position on the pound yen. The beast. What looks like 20 pips is like, 50. So you got to be careful with this thing. But that's setting up well, getting through the 14 EMA without selling. This is the automatic rally, so obviously a test area down there, where again, to see low volume testing would be ideal, and it's likely to continue up. EJ. So yeah, they're all coming around. One more test for sellers would be helpful and really prove it. Low volume test, no supply. Where can I find this webinar recording after it ends? I suppose, yeah, it'll be on YouTube automatically. I think it might take time to process, but yeah, last time I did it, it was automatically there. See how that goes, but it should be there. All right, so I'll end the live stream soon. I'll do it again soon. If you guys have questions, you could always do that. We can always go over whatever. So we'll do this now and then. Close half position, 15 pips. I forgot what trade you're in. It's all delayed, but you're probably telling me. Oh, the dollar cad. Oh, okay, cool. Careful. All right, guys. So I'll do a stream. Make sure I'll type in the website one more time into the chat. So if you go to see the box on the right, put in your email, you'll get email notifications when I stream on YouTube, free. And of course, you could join the live sessions, and there's the video course and stuff you could check out there. And of course, check out the free YouTube videos too. Well, a lot of people doing well. It's cool when I stream. A lot of people I haven't seen in a while pop up. So you're still doing your thing, which is good. Still trading this way. Once you go VSA, you never go back. All right, guys. So live stream people, thanks for joining. See you soon.